Hello, everyone. You know what? It's Tuesday. I tell you, I checked the calendar. I sometimes wonder myself what day it is. So I go over there and I say, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday. How are you tonight? What is happening in your world tonight? What are you feeling grateful for on this magnificent Tuesday? Tell me about it. Tell me what's happening in your world today. I want to know. I want to know what is happening with you and what you and most especially you are grateful for tonight. Can't believe it's already Tuesday. You know? Whoa. How many notifications? You ever get too many notifications? Who's got too many notifications going on their phones? Hey, Kath, how are you this Tuesday night? Tuesday, the 24th. The 24th of August is where we're at. Yes, we are. What are you grateful for tonight, Kath? How are things in Illinois? That must mean you're usually the start of a big Illinois contingent. Whenever you're on, Kath, I get a big Illinois contingent on. You bring them all on with you. Whenever you show up. I think you got the bus. You drive the bus, and they all show up with you. Well, it is great to have you here on this Tuesday evening. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad it was what was today? It was a hot day here in New England, hot day. But the shoppers were out. People were shopping. I especially like the one that bought the marble dining table and left with it today. Not only bought it, but got it out of there. Those things are heavy. Hey, Barb in Pittsburgh. Hey, Pat and the Peanut Gallery. How are you, Pat? I hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with you and Dick. I hope you are doing very, very well. I am grateful to have you all here tonight. I'm going to get started with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start this program every night. Every night. Tonight, we are on page 128 if you're following along in the book. Good morning. Your worst fears about yourself only need a drop of attention and sunlight to grow quick and wreck your whole shit. Clear away those weeds. Take the time to harvest your strengths and your joys. Water and sunlight to the best of you. In you. Yeah, don't do the death scroll of Facebook. Don't do the death scroll. That's the real lesson there. That is the lesson. What's happening tonight? What's happening out there in the world tonight? On several different initiatives. StockX, which is known, started as a place for sneakerheads buying, fancy, to buy and sell rare kicks. The company has since expanded to include designer bags, clothes, accessories, and even trading cards. Designer collaborations are big in the world of luxury resale as younger shoppers view these limited edition goods as assets. I don't get the asset part. Oh, Pat, I'm sorry your son had a bad case of COVID, but I am thrilled to hear he has turned the corner. Praying for him and you. That is, I am sorry to hear that. But StockX to grow is teaming with celebrities and designers to do collaborations and highlight their products. They're looking at the Gen Z. They're really highlighting and going after, which is different than what some of the others, the Real, ThredUp and others and Posh are doing. StockX is saying it's going right after Gen Z. And they look at these things as an asset, which, some of you talk about that. A Louis bag is worth, will keep its value, and and will hold its value. And so that's what they're trying to target some of Gen Z with. And with their limited edition sneakers and with other items. So, and they're looking at the items that they carry more as an investment space. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Again, a lot of this is still fueled by venture capital, phony money. So it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out with that. But it is a different approach than what ThredUp, what Real, what the others are doing. But it is still, they're still taking this approach with funny money, as I call it. Hey, Kitty, how are you tonight? Great to have you here. Grateful to have you here. Hope all is well in your world. Hope you're having a great day. We are broadcasting tonight on both Facebook and YouTube. Any problems with Facebook, hop right on over to YouTube. Cassandra's got the link for you in the show comments. This is really interesting. Ross stores. So Ross Dress for Less, which is typically lumped in with, from a financial reporting view, Ross stores is lumped in with the TJ Maxx's, the Burlington Coat Factories, and others like it, okay, who are selling seconds or discount merchandise, okay, bulk sellers of discount merchandise, and Ross is dumped in with those. Ross is giving a different outlook on the future than what other stores are doing. They're giving what I believe is a much more honest answer to Wall Street of what is happening out there. And, they had a big Q2 with a sales jump, but gave a weak outlook on both because of supply chain issues and the costs of the higher supply chain costs, the cost that is doing, and because of COVID costs. Their earnings per share grew 22% for their most recent ending quarter, and sales rose 21% to $4.8 billion. Comp store sales were up 15% year over year, so that's versus 2020. But they still had a lot of their stores coming out of the pandemic reopening surge back last year. Hey, Adele and Dazzle are here. Dazzle, it's treat time. And they still plan to open 60 more stores, but they are citing, the increased supply chain issues, the costs of that, and the COVID-related operating expenses. More cleaning, different things are going to dampen revenue. And revenue outlook. So that is a very honest outlook on things, I believe, and it is different than what some of the other chains are doing. There's some that believe they have, weathered the supply chain issue and the COVID costs. I mean, we're going to be dealing with some of these costs for a while. We're going to be dealing with the supply chain issues for a while. They're not going away. The big shipping the biggest shipping company, container shipping company, Maersk, just ordered 6 or 7 new ships at $175 million a piece to keep, the waters moving. It's twofold to keep container traffic moving. Okay, but it is also doing it to get more green. The new ships use more renewable fuels and such, so they're more energy efficient. Their goal is to be carbon neutral, believe it or not, by 2030. But those, you don't order one of those ships and Amazon delivers it in 2 days. So, the freight crisis is not going away anytime soon. And, some of you probably got an example of that. We don't always see it in this industry where your supply chain is local. It's hard to understand what some of the other supply chain costs are besides what your office supplies are costing more of and everything else. But, I know a lot of you get stuff from Nahanko, the hanger company, the retail supply company. Hey, Michelle is here live. Great to have you here live tonight, Michelle. Great to have you here. But Nahanko sent out an email today, with all the supply costs and the cost of getting merchandise and making merchandise and even the raw materials, because they actually manufacture stuff. They're doing a 20% across the board increase. 20% across the board. Their entire catalog is going up 20%, which is a lot. I mean, 20% on a box of hangers is a lot. 20% on a new rolling rack is a lot. And so these costs are going, your costs of doing business are only going up. And this inflation, while transitory, I continue to stress transitory is the rate at which it's going up, not that, okay, the rate of inflation, okay, so 20% across their catalog, which they said they hope to make temporary, but I'm not betting on that. That's going to be a huge price increase. But again, that's why I'm also reminding you that you have room. You have room to be increasing your prices. There is room out there. Okay, you're still going to buy hangers. They're still competitive in the marketplace, and they're good people to deal with. Them store supply are great people to deal with, but everybody's costs are going up. That's just the reality of it. That is the reality of it. So, that's one that you can see directly in this industry. Because you need those supplies to run your business. But, that is where there's also room for you to be increasing your prices. There's room for you to raise your prices a little bit. There is that kind of room out there. So, which we've talked in detail about. And, that's just, it's important to be aware of it. Okay, because transitory just means the rate that things are going up will cease. That's the transitory part, but the prices themselves won't come down. I mean, it was great when Jay Powell, the Secretary of the Federal Reserve, said that a few weeks. Well, now it's probably more than a few weeks ago. It's probably more than a month now. Yeah, Sam, plastic thank you bags have gone up dramatically. Yes, all these supplies have gone up. I mean, they have, and they will continue to go. They're going to level out. You're going to see a leveling out of the increases. Okay, but you can't just make this up in volume. You can't make up all these cost increases in volume. That's what Ross is saying. Okay, and you have to increase. You're going to have to increase prices to make some of this up. That's just the reality, and the consumer knows that. The consumer is aware of that now and is more accepting. I had to buy new tires today for my dollies. I had to buy a couple new tires. My guy said to order a couple more tires. And, when I do that, I just go to the Home Depot website and I can say, okay, go to my order history. What did I order before? And, before they were 21, last year when we needed them, they were 21 and change. And this year they're 24 and change a piece. So, these are the rising costs. You don't see it on an everyday basis. And had I not seen right in front of me when I was looking at my order history where I was going to order it to make sure I ordered the same kind, because I don't know what I'm ordering with parts. Okay, so I go to the website to see that I'm ordering the same kind, and it tells me right to my face, this is what you paid last year. Okay, but this year you're going to pay, last year you paid 21, this year you're going to pay 25. Only residual craziness today, Kelly. Welcome to Residual Craziness. Great to have you here. A couple of things are happening that is really kind of interesting in the delivery space. And I wanted to talk about that for a second because both are really kind of interesting. You've probably all seen those ads for the self-driving cars from Domino's that are going to deliver your pizza and everything. Well, I think what's going to be one of the biggest experiments in this is about to take place at Ohio State. We're going to have to get Chris to go out and do some research on this for us. But Grubhub is bringing 50 of those vehicles to Ohio State to deliver on-campus dining to your dorm room. Okay, they are going to have 50 of these self-driving robots. Okay, this guy right here driving around the Ohio State campus all day and all night, delivering, because you can't. Why would you want to leave your dorm room when you can have it delivered? Okay, even school food, okay, campus food can get delivered to you in one of these little things. I mean, give me a break. But it's a closed place, so that's really kind of interesting. It will be interesting. That is really a great environment for it, and it's really going to be interesting. And they are cute. They are cute, Michelle. But they can deliver drinks, pizza. They can deliver whatever across campus. So it is kind of interesting to see that and to see such a. I totally see Animal House or something happening to these vehicles. Not only to hijack them, to decorate them, to whatever them. I mean, I can see all sorts of things going wrong with them. But if you think about it, it's really smart because everything that can go wrong with them will happen on a college campus. So if you can make these so that you survive a college campus, okay, you are really doing something right. I mean, you are totally doing something right. So I see this as part marketing, part making, delivery, part, product testing. You are resilience testing these devices to see what they will encompass on a college campus. I mean, and you are hardening them because you got a lot of college, it's mostly college kids that are going to be loading these things with stuff, that work in these restaurants and stuff on the campus. And so it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. But that's a big installation. They're starting with 50 and looking at more. More interesting in the delivery space is what Walmart is doing. Walmart is going to let its delivery service, okay, they are going to white glove or white label their delivery service, their last mile, where they're delivering right from their stores, okay, on their own trucks, which they've done in a lot of, they've started doing in a lot of more rural areas, okay, where they're delivering on their own trucks. And they're going to start rolling that out and allowing businesses like yours to have deliveries on that. So instead of having your local deliveries go via the post office, you can have Walmart deliver them. You got a friend with a bakery, instead of paying Grubhub to deliver it 30%, you can pay Walmart to deliver it while they're delivering other stuff. And they will not be labeled as Walmart employees and such delivering it, so that it doesn't negate the value of your brand. But it is part, increasing the efficiency of their delivery operation. So basically cover their cost of their delivery operation and get other people to pay for it. And it's part of data grab. Okay, who's ordering stuff? What other types of things could Walmart be selling, okay, to do this? And so, and what's really interesting with this is they're getting out, I told you that Amazon would probably be doing this next year. That Amazon would probably be allowing you to ship via their fleet, just like you can ship with the post office or UPS across the country, that Amazon would be doing it cross country sometime next year is what I expect. That Walmart getting out ahead of this could have a nationwide operation in place by next year. I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. It is very forward thinking. It's part of data grab, part to get ahead of Amazon, and makes it sound like they're partnering and being good to small businesses, okay, and saving you the 30% Grubhub fee or the any other fee. So it is interesting, and it is going to be very interesting to watch how this plays out as they do this across the country, and especially to see if they can do it with a consistent level across the country. They have the tools and technology. They've really invested heavily in this, and it'll be interesting to see where that goes. So I am. It is very interesting, and that is why it is worth talking about. Okay, that it's important to talk about. These things. Sometimes you say, "Why is Neil talking about Walmart?" Well, because it could be affecting your business. It could be delivering for your business. Okay, and it's important to know what some of these guys are doing to reach the consumer and to reduce costs. Macys is making a big push. So what Macys on the big guy front is doing, just so you're aware as well. Hey, Julie Jankowitz, how are you? Hope all is well. Hope the shoulder isn't acting up too much. Great to have you here. I knew my Illinois contingent would be here tonight. Whenever Kath shows up, we have an even bigger contingent of Illinois people. I'm just saying, giving Kath credit where credit is due. Macys is doing a big push, okay, to drive you and incentivize you to do store pickup. So they had way back when, after last Christmas, they said, as everything was really getting gangbusters this spring and reopening and consumers were coming out, they were investing more and more in their technology to ensure a simple buy online, pick up in store experience. And they're continuing to do that. And with their partnership with Toys, and opening the Toys R Us shops, they are investing more and more in making sure that you can pull up to their store and get your order quickly. So that is, again, how they plan on owning the holiday season, because the holiday is going to be local. Amazon's not going to save you. Remember, they're already saying, the shipping carriers are saying that there's going to be a 5 million package a day surplus. It's going to be 5 million more packages a day than capacity can handle. And so that's going to cause bottlenecks. And Macys is creating a whole advertising campaign around that and designing their thing about get it. You don't even have to come into the store, because they're also worried about, where we might be in any individual community with COVID or any part of the country. But they're using their network to make sure that the items you want are in store and ready to come out to the curb to you. So that is where they're investing. That is what they're doing. There's been a lot of headlines, okay, about the banks opting out of the PPP loan forgiveness process. And I want to clarify. I want to move beyond the headline. Okay, so I want to move beyond the headline, because there's really a lot more to that. Okay, and it's not that they're opting out of PPP loan forgiveness. They're just opting out of letting users use the SBA's direct system. So that's first and foremost. People can still get forgiveness. They just have to use the bank system, not the SBA system. Some banks opted to use both. People could either use the bank system or they could use the SBA's direct portal. But the headlines that have been getting blasted over the news is the banks are opting out. The JP Morgans, the Bank of Americas, and others are opting out of the SBA system. And it's really not that. It's partly because the original contract actually ties the bank to the loan. Okay? And that's why they're doing it. So they want to be part of that forgiveness process. In doing that, is why they are doing that. That being said, if you are having a problem getting your bank to actually even let you process an application, if you are having problems with getting that done in any shape or form with your bank, I am being told to refer you to your local SBA office to help them rattle some chains. Okay, and that's where you should be talking to, is your local SBA office, to help you rattle your bank's chains to get that going along. Because, the SBA, doesn't want you to have to make payments on these. They want to get them forgiven, especially all these smaller ones. There's a real push for that. And most of the ones that aren't getting forgiven are real, simple errors. I have I've seen people put in the amount they spent on payroll as the amount they want forgiveness for versus the whole loan amount. They're doing it quick. You've got a million things to do as a small business owner. Shut the rest of the world out when you do the forgiveness application, just so that you can concentrate and you make sure you don't make a simple clerical mistake like that. For some people, that's leaving them on the hook with 30% of the loan, or having to file an appeal with the SBA to get this forgiven because you made a clerical mistake. And a lot of people were nervous when applying for forgiveness. A lot of people were nervous. Overall, for most loans, really the sub 250,000, people will say the sub 150,000. I'll tell you, from the businesses I've been working with, if you're really under 250, I would even say a $500,000 one. They've been pretty simple. The closer you get to $1 million or more, the more difficult the process gets, and the more checks that need to be put in place. But the process overall is pretty simple. But if you're having a problem with your bank, and it's mostly with the fintechs, that people are having problems with, and they're having these problems because there's not a person. I'm sorry, there's just not. I mean, that's one of the problems. The fintechs are easy, but there's not a person to talk to. So that can be challenging at times, and I'm sorry for that. But reach out to your local SBA representatives because they really do want to help. They're great people. They are not as overloaded as they once were, and they really do want to help. And they do want to help with that. But some of you are going to end out because of timing with this. You may end out, before your forgiveness is filed, having to make a payment on that PPP. As long as your PPP is forgiven, that payment will get refunded to you. So do not worry about that. And we're at the tail end of this. So this is of the PPP. So soon it'll be a distant memory. Soon we will go over, in a couple of weeks. We will go over my checklist of the file to keep, what to keep in your files. For the SBA says 3 years. It's been recommended to me to recommend to people that they say they keep their files for 5 years. We're going to talk about all that, what to keep in those files, how to keep it both in paper and store it on a cloud drive, just so that you have it someplace else should you need it. If you ever got audited, because there will be audits. Just because it's government money. The government wants to make sure that their money was used for what people said it was used for. So that you didn't buy a boat or a land boat, okay? Or an island, okay? That you did not buy resale island with it. That's all I'm saying. Or a tiki boat. You didn't buy a tiki boat in Michigan. I'm just saying that you did not do any of that. Okay? That is what I'm telling you. I know you want a boat, Julie. I know you want a boat. A lot of people want a boat. There's no boats with this money. There's not even a Powerball ticket to win the boat. I'm just saying. But what I'm also saying is this video and everything I talk about goes over to nards.org/resale strong by noon the next day. Noon. All the files, all the links, all the references are all over there, including a direct link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and oh yes, ring that bell. Ring that bell so you know you're not alone. So you know when a new one drops. Oh, frozen cocktail push pops. Well, that's a business expense, Michelle. That's a business expense. Okay, that is marketing. That is a marketing expense, Michelle. I'm just saying. I'm here every night at More 8 Than Ish. I'm here. Yes, I am. Live in the Nards private Facebook group and streaming on YouTube. But if you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil at ECIstores.com, Neil@ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. The Good Morning, Good Night book is how we start. If you were not here at the top of the program, our Good Morning on page 128 is, good morning. Your worst fears about yourself only need a drop of attention and sunlight to grow quick and wreck your whole shit. Clear away those weeds. Take time to harvest your strengths and your joys. Water and sunlight to the best in you. Our good night tonight is good night. Doubts may grow as shadows loom. When you're alone with your thoughts, plant music, art, pics of the ones you love in the darkest corners. Harvest the fruits of your daydreams and rest. Water and sunlight to the best in you. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah even, a push-pop party at Michelle's. I don't know. We will party again, and we will party in person. And when we do, I'm going to be there with you. But until then, and until tomorrow night at More 8 Than Ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. It's time for dinner.